So welcome back to another FIFA career mode video. Today we have another one of those FIFA history videos. We have part 2 of removed or changed career mode features. Now if you missed part 1, this is the show where I basically take a look at career mode features and how they evolved over time, and also we're going to take a look at some removed ones as we go along as well. So according to YouTube, we have 77% of you guys watching the videos but not subscribed, so do yourselves a favor, make sure you subscribe today and join the other side. Career modes before the squad hub was even a thing. The only way you could check injuries was obviously if you got any notices in the email section or even in the news section. But there was also a tile called the injury list. You click on this tile, this is in FIFA 16, and you can check exactly which players are out and how long they're out for and the actual injury that they got. Now this is similar to what you can do with the squad hub, but it's just its own dedicated page. But the cool thing here is that you can actually check other teams in your competition as well. I don't think you can do that with the latest option in the squad hub. So this is Man United, the team that I'm coaching. We've got 2 players out, Lingard and Schweinsteiger. It tells me their recoveries and all that and how long they're going to be out for. But let's say I wanted to check other teams in the competition to see how they're going. I hit the R2, L2 buttons and I can flick through all the teams. So Norwich has 2 players out, Southampton no one, Spurs has Lamela and Onama out as well. And then Stoke has 2 players, Watford 2 players as well. So you get the idea. You can see exactly which players are out, what their injuries are. And this will change as the season goes on, as more players get injured and players recover from injuries and stuff like that. So the injury list is gone. I think they changed it when, like FIFA 18 or something like that, when they introduced the squad hub. And basically your injuries are now in the squad hub. Obviously you get an email if one of your players gets injured, but to check the full list of players from your squad getting injured, you have to go here. And then you can check the status of your players. So you can see players that are match fit. I'm not sure if I've got any injuries here to actually show you, but it'll come up. There we go. Chong is injured, and it shows you his injury and how long he's going to take to be 100% fit. So this one is 13 days, and that's basically it for that one. So you can only check your team. I don't think you can check any of the other teams in the competition. And yeah, so that's the only downgrade to this whole thing, but everything is now in the squad hub instead of its own tile. Now, one of my favorite features in the older career modes was squad rankings. I believe this one was also in player career mode as well as manager mode, but have you ever wondered who the best player in your team is based on the numbers? Back in the day, you could check that with this squad ranking feature. You go over to the squad report tile, you flick to the right with the R stick, and then you click on squad ranking. Now this is going to be a definitive list telling you the best player to the worst player in your team. Fantastic feature, and it's just nice because it's just an extra statistic thing that you can check. The game mode doesn't really have any good statistics you can check in the current version, so that's definitely an area that EA should work on, and I think they should bring this back. I used to enjoy it, but on the right you could see the previous match result. It tells you who you versed, the score, and it tells you who the best player was, the man of the match for that match. So this one was 1 Mata, 1 goal, no assists, and then it tells you your upcoming match as well. But on the left is where the main stuff is at. It tells you the best player to the worst player. Our best player at the time was Wayne Rooney, and he was 86 overall. 6.7 is the form, so it tells you the form of the players. And after you play a game, the arrows on the left are going to go up and down based on how the player went, based on their match score. So Schweinsteiger was number 2 with 6.4, 1 Mata 7.0. He went up after the last game, obviously because he got man of the match. And you get my point. If a player plays bad like De Gea, he goes down, so he got a 5.9. He went from number 2 to number 4, and then it goes all the way down to the reserves. So obviously people that don't play at all will be the lowest of the lowest. But I used to enjoy checking this out like every few weeks on my career modes back in FIFA 16, FIFA 15. I think it was in older ones as well, because, you know, I just wanted to know who's the best player in my team based on the facts. So this just aggregates all the form numbers and it adjusts the rankings each time you play. So in FIFA 19, I think it had its own tile, but in FIFA 20, it doesn't have its own tile anymore. But I thought it was gone completely, but there is a little bit of a ranking feature in player career mode left in FIFA 20, and it's basically right there on the top right hand corner. So you can see De Gea's got a form of 6 and he's ranked number 1 at the moment for this team. I think, can we change players? No. So you can't even change players. You're only stuck with the player that you pick for player career mode. That sucks, man. I mean, at least we had it in player career mode, but yeah, it's been sort of removed from the game mode there as well in FIFA 20. And obviously in FIFA 20 manager mode, it's nowhere to be seen. So this one did get removed over time, and the only way you could sort of check rankings for your team, I guess, is through the squad hub. There's no ranking feature. You can basically just sort in the squad hub by form. That's basically the best you're going to get at the moment. So it's based on form. Maybe you can check like how many appearances and goals and stuff your players have done. That's the best you're going to get here. There's no actual ranking from 1 to 25, whatever it is, 30 something, I can't remember. Next up, let's talk about press conferences in FIFA career mode. Who remembers the old days where the press conferences absolutely sucked? Well, let's take a look at what it used to be like before they changed it. You would check your calendar, you would see that you have press conferences leading up to maybe a major game, like a game against Arsenal. Now, to access a press conference, what you had to do was go to your emails. Every day you would get bombarded with press conferences emails, and these press conferences had no impact on anything like morale or, player confidence, nothing like that. It was just you being able to do it if you really wanted to. It had no meaning, and a lot of people just skipped it because it just had no purpose in the game. But this is what it used to be like. Talk to the press, just a tile where you could make a comment on your own team, the opponent, Arsene Wenger, who is the coach of the opposition, reverse fixture, and players. So you can make a comment about any of these players here. If you think one of them sucks, you just chuck a promo on one of their players. If you think one of your players needs a kick, you can do a promo on your player as well. Or you can talk about the manager if you really want to get under their skin, or you can just talk about the team in general. So let's say we talk about Arsene Wenger. We can praise him, we can unnerve him, and you can do that for any of the other options as well. And that was basically what the press conference was. Like, it just had no purpose at all. Let's say we unnerve him. I think we got like an email or something. No email whatsoever. And just no purpose to it at all. And a lot of people wanted it to change. Okay, so I found this. So there would actually be a news article if you unnerve him, and it was based on the press conference. So the manager took the extraordinary step of openly criticising the signings of Arsene Wenger. So I was talking about the signings, apparently. In a lively press conference, manager said he must be very disappointed with some of his signings. They are clearly not good enough to play in this league, and you have to question the decision to sign them in the first place. You just can't make mistakes like that. The stakes are just too high. It was an incredible outburst, and you have to question whether it was a wise move ahead of such an important game. So as you guys know, in FIFA 20, they updated the press conference feature, and it looks much more modern now, much more practical, and it actually affects morale and all that kind of stuff. But you guys know how it is. We've gone from a tile to actual cutscenes now. Now, you can argue whether the questions they ask you make sense. Half the time they probably don't. But regardless, it is much better than seeing just a tile, and it's integrated pretty nicely in career mode. Before you play important games, you get to do a press conference if you really want to, before you do UEFA games as well. And also your answers have meaning, they affect team morale. And in the background, sometimes you'll see branding for the competition, sponsors as well, and also the match ball and microphones and all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, there's no vocals for any of the guys, but it doesn't really matter. I think some people get sick of this. Some people are probably sick of this feature by now, but I still like to do them because they affect morale, so I like to boost morale. But I think EA should make it a little bit harder to boost morale too, because it's pretty easy just to give generic responses, and there's no real punishment if you decide to, answer more negative responses. Now, don't forget as well, a new feature, part of the press conference thing in FIFA 20, was post-match interviews. So this was another way to talk to the press. Now, you could skip them if you really wanted to, but I think you should do them if you want to boost up your morale. It's also a cutscene. You guys know how it works by now. And basically, you get the microphone in your face. You got to answer a few types of questions. I think there's about 3. Some of them don't make sense once again. Like, I think there's a question of if you're undefeated, but you actually lost the match or something. And then there's other ones about, going on a winning streak when you've lost or something like that. And there's a lot of positive answers here. There's no real option to be really, really negative. It's just Mr. Positive every time you go into these press conferences. So I think the focus for FIFA 21 onwards with this feature is to add more variety in the questions and new responses, obviously. So next up, I'm going to talk about the evolution of Creator Manager. So for many, many years, we had this basic layout. This was FIFA 07. Basically, you had like 20 different looks to pick from. You could pick whichever one suits you best, even though none of them suit you best because they're just like concept managers. And then you can change the name, the currency, the birth year, and that's about it. We got a slight upgrade to Creator Manager in FIFA 17 when they introduced the concept managers. They also did the Frostbite engine at this time, and you could see managers on the pitch in certain cutscenes and stuff. So they offered us this. Still gives me nightmares to this day seeing this because we copped this all the way up to FIFA 19. But you could adjust the managers into a shirt and tie, a suit, tracksuit, whatever you want there. And we were still very limited to what you could pick. But in FIFA 20, the update that we all wanted happened, and we got to have fully customizable managers where you can change the name, the nationality, but also the way they look to suit the way you look as well. To suit your style, you could change the face, the tone, the eyes, the brows, the nose, anything you wanted here, the hair as well, the ears, and of course you can change their shirts, the suits and shoes and all that kind of stuff. So obviously this was the biggest change to the Creator Manager in the history of career mode. Where do we go from here? Well, I think they should implement like game face again, where you can scan your own face and import it into the game. Also, this system is a little bit laggy, like when you change different things, you know, it's a bit slow. So hopefully with the SSDs on the new consoles, it speeds up the menus in FIFA, because we all know it's a bit slow. But yeah, that's the only way I can think of improving it at the moment. I think this is one of the best things that they've done in a long time to career mode. If you need something else to watch, check out this FIFA 20 video. Hit the card in the middle, it'll take you right there. I'll see you next time.